6, 7, 8.
Hi, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. We're coming to you with episode number 50. Yay! 50! We got to 50. Woo! So, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Jen.
I'm Kathleen.
I'm Haley.
And we love to come to you usually every 2 weeks. This time, after a little bit more of a break, to talk about...
Sort of a break, but we've had other videos pop up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In the meantime.
Check your subscriptions, and if you haven't subscribed to us already, like and subscribe down below so you know that when we post podcasts or tutorials.
Yep, I posted some tutorials. Yeah. It was supposed to be on the weekend, but my in-laws came to visit, so it was Monday instead. And then the week before, 2 weeks before, we had a Woolfolk interview, and
that's right. Exactly,
which
we did.
Was awesome.
Yeah,
so we've had some other good content, which is really nice.
The channel's been busy.
Yes, it has.
And we've been busy in person because we are just coming off of the New Jersey Wool Walk, which was amazing.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
Yeah.
I think we had about 100 customers the first day.
That's great.
That was
a lot.
so
we
crazy.
haven't seen so many people in the store.
It was
And,
so nice, though.
And everyone was great. Everyone was happy to be masked and maintaining reasonable distance and willing to wait outside when we were full. I mean, as you would expect with the fiber community, it was really, there were no issues.
How did you not sit outside with Abby?
I know, Abby.
Abby had her Girl
entertained
Scout
everyone
cookies.
in line. She had everyone ready. She was like talking to them about what they were going to get, what cookies they were going to get.
She's a sales lady.
I had no worries about the line outside.
I was coming in because I wasn't there the first day when we opened, but I came halfway through the day, and I'm walking down the street and I see all of these like dudes carrying like Girl Scout cookies, and I was like,
"Oh,
Abby gotcha!"
She's on the job.
I was like, "Atta girl."
Yep,
She was good.
It was so sweet too. Even yesterday, I texted all of our prize winners, and one of them wrote back and said, "Oh, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to support the Girl Scouts."
Oh,
Which was so nice. It was really, it was nice that she remembered that.
So
nice.
sweet.
And Abby's super excited because all the funds we raise are going to go for our troop to go camping for the first time. We were supposed to go summer a year ago, but we couldn't. And now our service unit's having a camporee in September.
That's
Nice.
great.
So not everybody can go.
I
Thank
love
you
that.
to our wool walkers.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I
And-
also bought like 6 boxes because
And thank you to Jen.
I was like, "Oh, you got any more Thin Mints, kiddo?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Sure." And I was
I've
like,
got
awesome.
1 box of Do-si-dos left. I've been rationing them bit by bit.
Oh yeah, no, I hid mine.
But actually, as of today, we still have Toffee-tastic and trefoils.
Truffles.
So
Yeah.
if you're interested in those, we do have them.
Come on down.
They're good.
Come on down,
The
call,
trefoils are good.
email, whatever.
Oh, I love the Toffee Tastics. They're buttery.
Yeah.
Those are the gluten-free ones.
They are.
They are.
gluten-free.
Oh,
But
hey,
good for
gluten-free
people who
folks.
do and don't do gluten, right?
Yeah.
So they're nice and crispy. That's one nice thing about gluten-free cookies. They're usually the rice flour. I think it's usually rice flour.
Yeah, they are. And I like
it makes it nice and crisp.
Yeah, they taste like real shortbread, I think.
Yeah, I love shortbread. Oh man, now I'm
Sorry.
hungry. That's all right. I'm just gonna drink my coffee. That's cool. We'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah. So one thing I have to comment on how coordinated we are today. It's like we've got this beautiful autumnal palette in May, but it's because we all just finished winter. We finished or are about
We're
to
like
finish
Some of us came closer to finishing than others of us.
wintry things.
We all still have ends hidden in our sleeves.
Yeah.
No.
I don't even have
Not
neck
me.
finishing.
We alternate. No
I have
ends.
waist yarn in. I have 2
like it.
needles holding my cuff because I am seriously 8 rows.
So close to finishing.
From at this wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like 6 rows away from finishing the sleeve, and then I just gotta do the neck edging. And I just stabbed myself.
What else do
with
you have to do with the neck?
So the neck, I gotta pick up.
It's cute.
It is cute, but it's gonna roll because it's stockinette. So in the pattern, it's you pick up. Well, I abandoned the edges in this pattern anyway. I did something completely different, which I'll go into more. But I just have to pick up and either bind off or do an I-cord bind off or do a little bit of rib. I just gotta pick up and do something.
Okay, yeah. It wouldn't be enough. Like
no,
strength.
it's not going to be enough. And
if
plus,
it's
I
just
want
the
it to
cast
come
iron
in just a
little bit more,
especially in the back. But like the short rows. I mean, this is a beautifully fitting sweater. I'll go into the details.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, shall we go on down and talk about the finished objects? Amanda, do you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's put that in.
I'm gonna pet her while she's doing it because it's so soft.
I finished my Franca, and our knit-along finished for it too. So this is Franca by Julie Weisenberger, who is the owner of Cocoa Knits, and this is using the Cocoa Knits method. We had this a long sweater. I'm gonna
That's a lot of knitting.
It is a lot of stockinette.
It fits so beautifully on your shoulders.
Yeah. I think I showed the back of it last time. But yeah, I finished it. I blocked it. The sleeves go so fast after this long body of stockinette.
I bet.
It took forever.
4 feet of stockinette.
But it did definitely grow in blocking, which I knew it would because I swatched.
Yeah,
and I blocked my swatch.
Yay, good girl.
And it went,
proud.
Yeah. And I used a size 9. The pattern calls for a 10 needle, but when I blocked my swatch, it went from 18 stitches per 4 inches down to 16 stitches per 4 inches, which is the gauge that's called for in the pattern. So that's what I used.
There you go.
Ta-da! Yeah, and it really makes a difference for something like this that has so much length, right? Like if it's a crop sweater and it's going to grow a half inch,
that's not a big deal.
But this one, like, probably 3 or 4 inches. Which you need to know that, right? And then I have this little pattern at the edge.
So did you add that, or was that in the pattern?
No, I added the lace detail.
Of course you did.
Yeah. It's not big. It's just like
I like
all
it.
around the
It's really
edge.
pretty. It's a great idea.
With like a little bobble. And what did you made this in?
This is Woolfolk Far.
Which is so gorgeous.
Color 20, I think.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not a lot of lace. It's just enough that it's like special.
And it works really nicely with the sleeves, like the slightly belled sleeves, like just a bit flared at the end.
I added an I-cord bind off on it. It was supposed to be like a rolled bind off, but
I don't love the roll things. I would probably have done something different too.
Yeah, and that was the good thing about a knit-along is we all got to talk about what we're going to do on the borders, and like someone else in our knit-along group like gave me the idea.
I like that coordinate. It looks really nice. It's a nice like tailored edge.
Yeah, it lays really nicely too. It gives it like, it's just pleasant. And after it blocked, like when I first finished it, this stockinette like rolled in quite a bit. But then I blocked it and it's
flat.
Perfectly nice. And I was telling everybody before I sat down, this is like the first time I've worn a cardigan that didn't like show my bra straps really quickly. Right? It does not pull off the shoulders at all. It fits so nicely over my shoulders.
Yeah, it's a really.
This
I'm gonna move your hair for a second.
Yeah,
it's got a really nice line like right here, and then it really fits beautifully.
Yeah, instead of going outwards from your neck, it goes. There's a line, and this stitching comes over your shoulder. Right, which really just like keeps it on, like the direction.
It's really form fitting.
Yeah, the direction of the stitches is like stay on your shoulder, not fall off your shoulder.
And that's the contiguous shoulder, which is basically a way to do a set or mimic a set-in sleeve, which usually fits.
Yeah,
it's easier to get a tailored fit with a set-in sleeve or something contiguous, or even a saddle shoulder.
Yeah, I mentioned to our group I think I'm going to modify a lot of stuff as I go forward to this Cocoa Knits method because it fits me so well.
Yeah.
So more about that when I get to another sweater for me, which is going to be a while.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about the Cocoa Knits method is she's got that book.
Yeah.
Cocoa Knits, I think it's called the Cocoa Knits method.
Right.
But it has like worksheets that you can work through.
It has worksheets, but it also has like 5 patterns, which they're all sort of like blank canvases.
Right.
Yeah, and
adapt.
There are like examples of the same pattern. It's like you just get gauge, right? But you could have, there's a light cotton in the same gauge as you do like a worsted.
Yeah.
You know, denser wool worsted, and it looks like a different sweater because the fabric is different.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the same pattern and the same gauge.
Yeah,
that's actually what I should look at for. I've been thinking, and we'll talk about this in New in Store. I want to do something with the kakagori, which is I think that could be really
that would be
a nice look.
That
would be nice style.
That'd be really pretty.
I want to make a summery sweater.
Yeah, you can always add stripes to any of these. You could add stitch patterns. Like I put some little lace detail at the bottom. I just have a stitch dictionary that I look something up.
Yeah.
Swatch it.
Swatch it. Here's the thing: when people are like, "How do I get sweaters to fit me?" Swatch.
Yeah.
And block
Swatch. Swatch. Measure before blocking.
Yes.
Measure after blocking.
Compare.
Compare. Exactly.
Compare
Compare.
and contrast.
Some things grow. Some things don't.
Yep.
Some things compress.
Yep.
Something. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Anyway, I'm super happy with
Yeah,
this.
it looks great.
Oh, and our knit along finished. And of course,
yes,
on the
that's right.
knit along,
Yeah, do
we
we
have
have that?
prizes.
Yay, prizes!
So I have these are all of our participants and for our knit along, like I said, it's a lot of stockinette. And knit along only lasted 6-8 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell anybody like, oh, you didn't finish a huge sweater in 8 weeks. And so, yeah, you're disqualified. No. So it was you just got past the sleeve divide. And you're
Good.
qualified for the...
That's totally
That's
reasonable.
a good
qualified for the
benchmark.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, you can do past the sleeve divide in 8
Right.
weeks on the size
Yeah.
9
For sure.
or 10
For
needle.
sure.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you've got literally 3 feet of stockinette, and that's a lot.
Right. So, yeah, there's definitely folks that are still finishing up their body or their arms, but you're well on your way and you're committed to the
And
project.
that's the most specific to the pattern,
Right.
That's the method of here,
Yeah,
right?
everything else
Right.
is TR
True.
knitting.
True.
This is the this is the business.
Lots and lots of teachers.
So, Amanda, what did they win? What is the winner going to win?
It's a coconut sweater.
Sweater care kit.
Yeah.
We're looking up there
It's not
because they are
in the
above
camera.
our heads and you can't
Yay.
see them, but the sweater care kits are amazing.
Let me
Very
take
nice.
one off. I'll take one off. So yeah, so the price for this knit along is a coconut sweater care kit, which has
Very
a
nice.
whole bunch of stuff in it.
You get the bag.
You get the bag, which has the little side pockets too. So it's
Oh,
a
yes.
great project bag. It really is. This is a blocking mat that has like
It's got a grid on it.
a
right?
grid on it.
Yeah. which
Yeah.
is
So
nice.
when you're wondering how wide when you're blocking to measurements, you just lay it on.
And also,
What?
this is made out of some crazy, amazing microfiber something or other that sucks all the water
Super
out of
absorbent.
stuff.
It says super
Super
absorbent.
absorbent blocking cloth. It really is. It truly does suck all the water out.
That's
and then
great.
you
I
can
could
lay
have
your
used
sweater
that when
out.
I was blocking this
Yeah.
earlier in the week.
Yeah. And it has a
That's
centimeter
one reason
grid.
why Haley's sweater is not
It
blocked.
kept wanting
because
to rain
mine-
when I wanted to block.
Mine took forever to dry.
Yeah. It has centimeters and inches. And then,
2 sweater bags, one small, one large.
Mm-hmm.
and they're like
Nice.
little tube ones, which is also, this one would be fantastic for washing your mouth.
Oh yes, I wash all my masks in one of the soap
Yeah.
bags.
Mhm.
I specifically got it for that.
This
A
is
drying towel
Yeah.
again,
Same material that it sucks all the water out.
and this I know was Beth's favorite.
It's
It's
also my favorite.
the pop-up sweater blocker,
Mhm,
where
mhm.
it like you put the sweater over it, but it gets air underneath, so it
Yeah, it definitely.
dries it.
So it's
We
like
got something like
elliptical and
Yeah.
it arches up
Yeah.
like that, so you actually
like
get
a Pringle.
airflow. Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does
does.
look like a Pringle, but it's
exactly
also
like a
big
Pringle.
enough that you could put a real fully grown sweater on it
Mhm.
and almost all of the sleeves,
Yeah.
which
probably not
Hard
the
to find.
whole length of the Franca.
No, you can't get the length of the
but
frock.
but yeah,
But
the
like-
width of most sweaters, including
But yeah,
sleeves.
you can
Y'all
get
Y'all
our
three.
size sweater.
That's southern. Sorry.
Yeah, y'all three.
Y'all's three.
You want Haley to reach in there with her
Yeah,
little hand?
sure.
Y'all is
I don't know.
plural and singular.
Oh, it's
Can you reach in there?
Here. I know there.
I was gonna say she
It's
does
a
have the tiniest little hands.
tight top drawer. There we
Got
go.
one?
All right, I got one.
Terrific.
So, and the winner of the sweater care kit from the Coconuts Knit Along is Tori P.
Yay, Tori!
Excellent.
Very
Yay,
nice.
so we'll get this all to you.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Excellent! Yay, congratulations, Tori!
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
To Jen,
To me,
like 99.8%
Mine
finished object.
I'm counting it as a finished object, and believe me, next
What?
time we podcast, I'm going to count it as a finished
I was about to
object
say,
again.
Double dipping
Because
counts here.
honestly, I've been trying to focus, which is difficult for me.
I think I had my Franca unblocked last time.
I feel like this is going to count a couple of times,
That's
depending
worth
on
it.
how I'm
Yes.
going
It
finishing
totally
this.
should.
So I'm wearing my Snedronningen,
Yeah.
which did I come
Which
close?
has become, but this has
Very
become
good, yeah.
quite the internet sensation.
Isn't
Have you
it?
noticed?
Oh.
Like there's several people.
Oh,
doing
really?
it now.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of folks knitting it. So it
Nice.
is unblocked,
You
so
started a
ignore the
thing,
bumpies. Ignore the bumpies. This was the sweater class for this spring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just wrapped up.
Started in January.
And I did it in Knitted Wit Dusty Sophisticate and spun right around
DK
Tonic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it looks so great.
Squish DK for the color. And DK, Knitted Wit DK.
Used to be Victory DK.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's regular.
Just DK.
Just DK.
Which is harder to search, but that's okay.
So I don't know if y'all can see this.
It's making me nervous.
I know, it's making me nervous too.
Yes.
2 9-inch circulars are holding my cuff on because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 more rows to go, and then I have to do the neck edging. But everything else is finished. It is completely unblocked. There's waist yarn in my sleeves still because yes, I leave my waist yarn in my sleeves so I can measure my sleeves, and also if I put it down, I can come back to it later. Yeah. The other thing I'm planning to do, so I don't know if you guys can see, there is a faux seam purl stitch.
I'll take a picture.
That I am going to actually seam up.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to do it on the sides too. So what I'm going to do is just basically do a mattress stitch on either side of the purl and suck it up to give a little bit more structure. Now the sleeves are fitting a little bit snug right now because it's not blocked, but I know, and I've worked with this DK before, that it will grow slightly.
Yeah.
So it'll end up, even with the seam, it'll end up fitting something similar to this with a little bit more ease. This will all settle out. And then I have to decide, so in the pattern, in the that pattern by Isabell Kraemer, she had garter stitch as the edgings, which I knew I wasn't going to do. So I decided to do a deep 2x2 rib on the bottom and then 2x2 rib on the sleeves. Yep. And I am trying to make a decision about what to do for the neck edging. So for the neck edging, I actually did a little test run of it. Where you pick up stitches and you knit a row, you purl a row, knit a row, purl a row. So that was what's in the pattern, and that actually does not look.
Oh, garter.
Yeah, just like a little garter ridge, and that was fine. But I was like, maybe I want to do something different. So I might do an I-cord bind off. In which case, what I would do is pick up the stitches, purl a row. And then do an I-cord bind off on the purl row just to give it a little bit of a purl
separation,
edging, a little bit of separation. And then all else fails, I'll just see what 2x2 rib does. For
I think an inch of 2x2 rib could look really cute too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could
like just
really
almost
nicely.
like a little less than what you have here, kind of.
So like right there.
But
like
the I-cord sounds
6
nice
rows.
too.
Yeah, including my stitch marker. So I'm so close to being done. I stayed up way too late last night trying to
I'm proud of you. Look at
so
you
close.
almost finishing a sweater with a sweater class.
Including the sleeves. Including the sleeves. I was like, you know what? I gotta get my act together and like just do the damn sleeves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did this in less than a day. 3/4 sleeves too, and DK weight, right? So it's not that many stitches. And then this in a day.
Oh, you
but not quite finished.
You have the purl bump in between.
Yes.
Because I was about to say it's a little bit wider on the decreases here than it would be in a normal.
Yes. So on the decreases,
I like that. Like it looks nice, the wider side. Yeah.
She has knit. So this is the purl stitch is essentially the beginning of the beginning of the round, and then knit 2 plain, and then do your decreases. So
it's like an extra stitch. Is it 2 stitches extra between?
It's
2
funny,
stitches
this,
is what I normally
this
do.
pattern had that too, and I took it out. I actually like them when they're close together.
I
don't know. I mean, it depends on your. It depends on.
Well,
and also, it's like
different,
it's like a whim thing at a certain point. It's like, what do I feel like with this yarn and this pattern?
Yes.
So it looks nice with this.
Yeah, I know.
like
I'm pretty happy with it.
I
mean, I love Isabell Kraemer's patterns. They're so well written. They are so thoughtfully designed and very well graded for all of the sizes, which is not always the case.
We had somebody in here the other day with like 18 inches picking up under an underarm.
I hate that.
And it wasn't even, it was like a size large. It was crazy. And so I was explaining about pattern grading and how, you don't start with extra small and then multiply everything out. It's just, that doesn't fit humans when you do that.
Because your yoke depth generally doesn't change that much. And then, so like a larger size yoke depth is 11 inches. A smaller size yoke depth is like 10 inches. So like, Yeah, it's just the math doesn't work out.
I definitely learned that from you about, like if there are tons of stitches picked up, or in the underarm area, chances are for a larger size you want to scale that down a bit.
Yeah.
You want to really do your math and see what that's going to look like and see if it's too much fabric.
Measure your underarm. Measure the span that you need to cast on, and then multiply it times your gauge and be like, okay, I need to cast on 10 stitches, or I need to cast on 15 stitches, and when the pattern calls for you to cast on 22, you can be like, hold your horses.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. And if you still need the width here, you can do some if you need the width across your back, do some increases.
Yeah, Coconuts has some good tips on how to do that.
Tell about
sizing for your
body.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. So this is my almost finished object.
You definitely should wear it again next time after you block it.
Oh, I straight up am.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna milk this sucker for as long as I can get it. I'm really happy with it because I think I'll wear it. I'll wear it through the summer, just like I am now over the dress.
Sure, if you go up to the Cape or anything.
Yeah, because it gets cold.
Well, it's funny because I kind of feel like I'm getting pink. I'm getting a little warm because I had to wear a turtleneck with this. This is not. I mean, this was designed to be worn with a
turtleneck with that.
And exactly, that's one of the reasons I picked this yarn. I'm like, I have a hot pink turtleneck.
It's so awesome.
And
they're flex.
The flex
they're
are the
flex.
identical color.
Yeah. So and I like that.
So what is it?
Sometimes I like the matchy. So this is the Avalanche sweater by Heidi Kirrmaier.
Yay!
And I did it in Lucky Tweed in the raisin colorway.
That's such a gorgeous color.
And I really am so happy with it. I am. It was
beautiful.
I pretty much knitted exactly to pattern. I think actually hers was graded well too.
Yeah.
I don't think I took out any stitches in the underarm. I didn't actually bring my notes with me, and I finished it a little while ago. I finished it in time for when we thought we were going to podcast, but I hadn't blocked it. And then once we changed our schedule up, I did block it. And like we were saying, it took like 4 days to dry because I didn't use the Cocoa Knits blocking towel to get
this one took a while to dry too.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So one thing I did, I did a tubular bind off.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I did the tubular bind off. I don't remember if it called for it in this pattern or not, but when I got to the hem, when I got to the bottom of the body, I'm like, oh, this would look so good with the tubular bind off.
It does.
So I did do that, and then of course I had to do the sleeves to match. It doesn't bother me terribly that the neck doesn't have it. It's fine. It's okay.
I feel like your cuffs and your bottom edging, you tend to see those two together.
Exactly, just because of where your arms are.
Different.
Yeah. Well, just like with this sweater, exactly that.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
Well, I think tubular makes the most difference on your cuffs because people look at your hands more.
Yeah. I know, it's funny. I don't know why. I just really felt like it was worth doing it on here.
With one by one rib, I think tubular always just looks so lovely.
It looks so nice and finished. Yeah. So and interestingly with this too, I measured it before I blocked it, and I measured it after I blocked it, and it basically did not change.
Nice.
It just I had used Lucky Tweed before, so that was what I was expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucky Tweed doesn't really change. It softens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
even more than
and it does
even more buttery.
It does. It fills in a bit. It kind of poofs up a little bit, but it does. It feels nice and soft. So the first cold day of fall, I know what I'm wearing.
Kathleen, you'll see Kathleen in the raisin sweater.
It's so pretty.
It really is gorgeous.
Thank you.
The Lucky Tweed has so many gorgeous colors in it.
Yeah,
it does.
It's just lovely.
Like if you had any turtleneck in any of the fleck colors, it would look perfect.
I mean, because there's I see an olivey green, a light pink, a hot pink, a light purple,
a violet.
So pretty.
It's so interesting too because once it's like the pink of the turtleneck picks up that, you really notice all of them. I feel like when I was knitting with it, you didn't notice as many, and it may partly be the blocking too.
Yeah,
they just may be a little bit more prominent now after blocking. So Haley, do you want to talk about your sweater and then we can go on to other finished objects?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? We'll do 4 sweaters.
Sure.
Well,
I have no other finished objects, so sure.
Yeah, I don't either.
So here I am wearing
I love this so much.
Granite Yoke Tee.
It's the
so gorgeous
Granite Yoke Tee by Knits and Knots.
Avec sleeves.
With sleeves. Yes, it was written
by Haley.
for just to be sleeveless, but it looks like cap sleeves, the way that it is, but I added sleeves, full sleeves, because the other one was this many sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So
sleeves.
cute.
So, if you can't tell, I haven't been in school this semester.
And you've been spending too much time with 3-year-olds. I'm sorry.
This many sleeves.
Yes, this many.
It sounds like a Harvey thing.
Yes, Harvey would say that. So, I added sleeves. So I did put all my notes into the Ravelry project page, which now it does hurt my head, so I probably won't be on that much, but...
And also, we can copy, so this is going to be a Yarnia store sample.
This will be in the
We made
store.
it
Yay.
for Yarnia, that'll be here. And it is, what yarn did you use again?
This is all Mad Tosh single fingering.
So pretty.
And you love your
Siren.
single fingering.
Yes, I do. In Siren, and the middle one is Hepburn, and the last one is Star Scatter.
I love that
I love the colors
So,
together.
and
And
it's such an Amanda color too.
When I picked this out, this kind of was like exactly how I pictured it in my head. I wanted something a little unusual for like the color gradient. I didn't want like a dark, medium, light. Like it is dark, light, medium, but like the white has blue tints in it rather than warmer tints.
That Hepburn's really nice.
I love
It's
that Hepburn
so nice,
color.
though.
There's so many
And
colors.
so this
and
one
it's so
actually,
subtle.
when I was looking online of other people's pictures of it, other people's skeins were like half white, half blue. So this one really is
Yeah. It's
very
kind of its own.
slightly blue
Mm-hmm.
and gray.
nice.
So
And some pink, I feel like it does have some pink.
It does
to
have some
it
Yeah.
does, yeah, very
Yeah.
slightly. So
It definitely picks it up.
Really
the
pretty.
Star Scatter was
It's really
really fun to see the little pops of the dark goldish
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yellow. So much.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's such a wearable crochet sweater
Yeah, it
that
really
like
is.
I feel like you don't. It's not that you don't see wearable crochet sweaters, but
they're becoming more common, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a struggle. Like in the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been able to save a lot more crochet things.
That's
easily.
great.
Yeah.
But getting back into stuff, like getting into garments actually, because like when I started doing like amigurumi, really when I did crochet anything,
yeah,
and even then it was like you make a square and you make another square and then you sew it together, and that was kind of it. But this has shaping and construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of
and
crochet
definitely.
sweaters are sometimes like a little bit lacy or holey, and you have to
Yes.
have an appropriate something to wear underneath. it.
Exactly, yeah. But
Mhm.
this is like
Yeah,
the,
wearable
I love it.
and then
the
of
linen
itself.
stitch definitely makes it,
Denser or not holey.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
But also-
and drapey.
It makes it a drapey
That's
fabric,
that's
exactly.
what
Yeah,
it makes it like a nice wearable
and not too
fabric rather
thick
than
too. It's just
like
yeah,
because
that's part of.
crochet does become dense sometimes, but sometimes like you want to take advantage of that
Right.
Yeah.
aspect of it. But
Mhm.
when you want a sweater, that's like nice.
Well, and it's a really cool, unique texture that you don't
Yeah.
you don't often see in either like ready to wear
Or
or
you can't do that in ready to wear.
You can't.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then tell us about the
Oh,
textile
yeah.
you're
So
in.
we'll show pictures close-ups, but I learned a new
I'm
thing
gonna
for
write
this
that down.
project. So I learned how to do a crochet I-cord edge.
For all of
And-
the I-cord edge.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
Right.
All things
So
Mhm.
it was, and I don't know if I said this on the podcast last time, but no, I think we
No,
were just
everything
talking.
was so. The last one
You
was so
hadn't
long
started
ago.
this. You hadn't started this,
Yeah.
right?
Ages ago.
You had the
Okay,
yarn. I
yeah.
think you showed the
No,
yarn.
I
No,
had
she
I
had
had
did,
switched
okay,
to the
okay.
second color. I remember.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think
You had done
I
the
was
sleeve
saying
design.
like I want to like I wish there was like a way to do like because like I looked up I discovered what nooking is. It's like more of a knit and crochet mash than Tunisian even is.
Oh wow!
And so because it
Nooking?
makes K.
Sounds like something from Animal Crossing.
It-
Tom Nooking.
It makes a fabric indistinguishable from knitted fabric apparently.
Mm, wow.
So I didn't look that much more into it. I took a screenshot and I was like, I'll come back to this later.
Right.
But if there was like a way that I could make knit stitches with crochet, like when you drop a stitch and you pick up with a crochet hook,
Totally.
I want to do that for a whole project. But then I was like, that's just a sock tube crank knitting machine. Like that's what
Yeah.
they do.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah.
can't really do
What
that
they
with
do.
one crochet hook. You need like all the little tiny
need,
freaking
Right,
stitch.
right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need one for each. So it's kind of like, but basically, I got my fix of doing that, of picking up the stitches, because what you do for the crochet I-cord edge, because you don't have, I know with knitting, when you do an I-cord bind off, you have live stitches that you work with, but
Right.
it's kind of like a combination of Tunisian where you have like a bunch of loops on your hook. I had 4 loops or 3 loops on my hook. But then basically all you do, I did 3-stitch I-cord edge, and you have 2 as you go around, and then you have 1 loop where you started, and you just pick up that last stitch. Like it as if it
I
was
didn't
a drop
understand
stitch.
as I watched her doing it, but it was very cool.
It's like as if it was 1 drop stitch. You had 2 stitches going along the whole way. You had enough of a loose thing around the back where it makes like. Imagine you had a drop stitch. We could do a tutorial.
I was going to say this. This sounds like I crocheted I-cord bind off.
A 5-minute tutorial is going to be in our tips and techniques feed.
Because the thing
it makes the tension really nice. Without trying.
The reason I was saying it didn't make sense to me when I was watching it is because as you were working, it was kind of loose and hanging out there. It was like so you would do like 2 inches or so, and then come back and do the last.
Pick up
that last hook into it. Yes.
So it's like you do it in 2 parts.
You do it in sections.
Wow. Part where you go in perpendicular, pick up 1, pull through 2, but then you have the loose loop from the first one that was on your hook, and you go back from the first loop that was in the cast on, and you pick up the stitches as if it was a drop stitch, and you're picking up the ladders around the whole way.
And that's what tightens it up.
It makes the tension really nice.
I got it. So it's actually kind of similar to years ago in Meg Swanson's Knitting, which is a book by Meg Swanson. She did I-cord gloves. Which is
is that like where you do the
fingers are
I-cord?
Your fingers are I-cord.
But the thing, 12-stitch I-cord or something?
Yes, exactly. 12-stitch I-cord, so you have a big ladder. And then what you do is you hook up the ladder, you start here, you make your I-cord, 12 stitches, and then you hook up the ladder, so really it's 13, and then you put those on holders, and then that's how you do all the fingers. That's how I did my 1 glove. And then I was like,
I'm not doing that again.
I'm never doing this again, but as a thought experiment.
An interesting experiment, right?
Totally. Yeah. But very similar to that kind of concept. Yeah. That is super clever.
All right, I will put that on the list of tutorials.
In my notes, I have the tutorial that I watched.
The link.
We will make our own, but if you wish to go to the primary source.
Well, sometimes it's helpful to have the second one, so you're like,
exactly.
How do people figure it out?
We'll talk about that when we get to my new socks.
When you triangulate solutions.
Exactly.
You're like, here, and here I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I have to watch 2 or 3 of the same technique and then like my calculus professor. Calc 1, didn't understand it. Got to Calc 2, he explained Calc 1 in 2 days. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That would make sense.
That makes sense.
Sometimes you just gotta find the thing that you click with. And honestly, it's like, this is the hard thing about YouTube, is that you need a trusted source.
Right.
Because anyone can put up a tutorial. I mean, we put up tutorials. I think we're a trusted source. But like, I'm biased since I did some of the tutorials.
So also, please comment and let us know what you think. Like, if you find them helpful, if you would find,
or if there's something that we talk about that you're like, please make a tutorial on that. Because now we have the stuff to do it.
Now we have the
now we know
capacity.
We
have the capability.
There we go. That's the word. Now I'm gonna know it.
So do let us know. We're a trusted source for those who come in person. We want to be a trusted source for those who are further afield as well. Yep. All right.
What else?
So, do you want to talk about your other finished objects?
More socks.
Are we sock talking? Okay, cool. I got socks.
I got nothing.
So go ahead and show yours.
Socks. So last time you saw tubes. I don't remember. I just checked. I did some research this morning to make sure. But I did toes and heels.
Oh, look at that!
They're so cute.
So I haven't actually worn these because I put them on when I finished, and I was like, they are just a little too big. But it's because I did.
Or too long, right?
Well, yeah, just in the toe. I thought when I first tried it on, the heel was a little too big, and I was like, I didn't trust myself to do, because I did 1 extra round of regular.
Like 1 even round before you started the decreases. Yeah.
No, in the middle.
Oh,
really?
Because I thought it was going to stretch too much on my heel, but I didn't need to do that. So I haven't worn them because they were a little too big, but
But
I
you
just
just
tried
take
them
the
on
toe
this
out
morning.
and read it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we talked
So
about
I
this
just
morning.
ran out the
and-
toe.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still dog fur and stuff on them.
I mean, you don't even necessarily have to re-knit the toe so much as just take out the Kitchener and like 2 rows and then re-Kitchener.
You could re-Kitchener it at
That's how
that
I do,
point.
like, that's what
Or-
it is.
And it would literally take like 15 minutes.
I know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't take that long.
The other thing we talked about maybe is like taking out a few rows and then instead of doing the every other row decrease, do the every row decrease to
Yeah.
get to the.
When
I
definitely.
haven't
Yeah.
tried that.
yeah,
Mhm.
when I do
like
my
that.
toes,
I did that on this.
I do every other row until I get rid of half of the stitches, and then all told. And then I do every row because I don't like a super pointy toe. I like a slightly rounded
It's
toe.
around the, yeah.
And I do every row until I get to 10 stitches on each thing, and then I, because I don't like dog ears, I pull the outside stitches on each needle over their neighbors.
Oh, that's
So
a
then
good way
I'm
to-
only
yeah.
Kitchenering 8.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
I
But
Kitchener
the
eight.
rapid decrease
I don't
Mhm.
think I have dog ears.
fits my
Maybe I do.
well, I mean the dog ears, like I have a tendency to do the dog ears when I get the Kitchener. So rather than like do all of the remediation for that, I just pull the stitch.
I looked at the toe for my first opal sock,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized I just got down to like the last. I just decreased to 4, went through the, and just like
And
cinched
Pulled
up the
it
end.
tight.
Yeah, and then wove in the end.
That
like the
doesn't
top of a
bug
hat.
your foot.
No,
It would bother my foot so much.
I
It would drive me bonkers.
4 stitches at the end. No.
Yes. Oh my god, I would feel that every step.
And I can
take.
tell you, I
Ugh.
definitely was happier, I'm sure, finishing that sock. Because it was my first, it was my second sock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You were fine.
And I've worn them for 3 years. And they look
So you
fantastic.
finished your first of your Helen Stewart.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, that's
I'm
okay. Go
interrupting
ahead,
your
Sean. No, do yours. We'll go back and forth. It's better.
Yeah, so I finished my first
Yay.
Helen Stewart Wild Bees sock.
Oh, I love it.
In the Librarian Dreams colorway.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So pretty.
So yeah,
Really
this
nice.
is and the bees are down the front, so it's hard to see them. Well, it's hard to see them here anyway. So I'll do a twisty thing when I take pictures, so you can see too. Right?
Cool.
Like, there's
Oh,
little
yeah,
bees.
they're
Very nice.
Oh, they're so
Oh my
cute.
gosh.
They do look like
Yay.
little snitches.
Yay! So I finished
They
my
do.
first sock.
Yeah.
What heel flap is that?
This is
I have partridge.
I have partridge,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
successfully.
And then you
Slip
were
one.
Yeah.
But then
Like
you
a
have to
brick
alternate, and your brain has to remember what you did on the last one until you're like
Mhm.
Or you look
halfway.
at it and then you're like, is that a slip stitch?
Hard to tell on the
It's
first row.
hard to tell in the first several rows.
Actually,
Yeah, it is.
my tip for that, I do a row counter, and if it is, it's like every 4th row, it's the double. You do the double slip before you start.
yeah.
I've been like using row counters on everything lately. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
I'm feeding a
distracted,
baby when
and
I'm
I
doing
need
rows.
to.
Tools.
Yeah, really.
Tools are there to help you.
For a reason, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no, you don't, like,
It doesn't
nobody,
all have to be up here.
No,
Exactly.
I'm totally a believer.
nobody's
in,
getting a prize
Exactly, you're not
for
impressing
not
anyone.
using a stitch
I mean,
counter
good
or
for you if that's how you work.
right.
Right.
You don't have to.
Right,
Yeah.
but nobody's going to give you like a trophy that like you knit an entire sweater without a stitch marker or a row counter.
No.
Like,
No.
It's all
No,
make
I'd
it
rather-
easier for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd rather make it easy.
Yeah.
So I have finished socks too.
I finished this much of my second sock.
You're almost there.
This will be a finished object for real, faux real next time.
Definitely.
So wait,
So
yours are.
Hermione's everyday socks.
I love Hermione.
I love the Hermione's everyday sock.
Love it. And I don't ever recommend people do this, but it drove me crazy because I noticed it in the car the other day. I missed one set of the bumps on one.
Oh my goodness!
But it's on my instep. It's like,
Yeah,
who
you
cares?
totally
It's fine.
wouldn't.
No one will
It's
see
fine. Yeah.
because
Because
And I
also
love this color.
it is
No.
Grace Notes. This
Oh,
is Top
Grace
Sock and
Notes.
I have
Grace
a
Notes.
sweater in great. I did that.
I want to make a sweater.
when you
Grace
did that
Notes.
knit along
the campsite cardi.
campsite
Yes,
cardi. I have a
yes.
campsite cardi.
I love
Grace
this.
Notes.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It's just a lovely gray with speckles.
It's
With
such
really
fun
happy speckles. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's orange, there's turquoise, there's pink.
So wearable.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
So, and this this did not call for an Eye of Partridge heel, but I did an Eye of Partridge heel because I thought it worked with
Yeah,
the
it fits with
I
the
always
diamond
do
pattern.
Eye of Partridge because
Yeah.
again, the little ribs of your regular slip stitch heel drive me crazy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I love a slip stitch heel. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the
Well,
cushioning of the slip stitch heel, but I can
Mhm.
feel the ribs.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
I think
Like-
we've determined I'm just not sensitive.
You don't have sense.
Or that
A
I'm
sense of feeling.
super fussy.
A sense of
I'm
touch.
totally fussy
Super
about
fussy.
foot things. I
Yes,
totally am.
I am. Too.
I really am. Yeah.
That's
Well, that's
I'm
why.
on
Actually,
Taurus.
one thing I've been thinking about, and if anyone has recommendations for the best shoes to show off your hand knit socks,
Oh,
please let
yeah.
us know because
Haley needs to kick up her feet
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
because
Those
those
are
are the
fun.
best shoes.
I
for
have
hand
Yeah.
socks.
pairs
alright.
of chunky heels that I wear with socks, and
I need to get
I
more
want
of those.
to get like the Blundstone style of like shorty kind of boots,
Yes.
rain boots that are clear.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
would
so
totally
I
show
can-
off your
so I
socks.
can-
That would totally show off
Inside.
your socks, but I feel like I would get sweaty.
Chanel
think it would.
had the best brogues that were
Yes.
gorgeous
Yes, that
with
were-
their
yeah.
socks. They
Mhm.
were amazing.
Oh, those were amazing.
Do you remember?
I
So-
do.
And
Those
they
were
just
fantastic.
They were so Instagrammable too.
So
They were.
Good job, Chanel.
totally welcome.
Nicely done.
Open to
Nicely
other
done.
suggestions
Yes.
too, because
Put your
actually these
suggestions
remind me
in.
of the buffalo sandals I wore when I was in high school.
Yeah, awesome.
Which, like, in like natural color, which you know what? I know you're going to give away a lot of your clothes. I'm going to tell you to keep a few because I'm sad I didn't keep anything from that time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
just
Yeah,
a few.
definitely.
no, you got to
Just
keep.
I wear
just
my
to keep a
mom's dress
couple.
from the 70s.
You got to
It
keep
looks
some. My mom
fantastic.
has her prom dresses, which is like amazing.
And you don't have my
The
prom dress.
tiniest little waist.
Wow.
Yeah,
was
I did
not-
not get that.
It was not
Oh.
pretty.
So
I have
I'm thinking we have 30 minutes till we are having an exciting event at Yarnia today, which I don't even know. I don't know if we can talk about. Well, you'll see it on her
It'll,
There's a surprise.
page
Subscribe
before you see it
below.
on
And
ours.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe so you can find out what the heck we're talking about.
So someone's coming in 30 minutes to talk to us, and so we kind of need
So
to
we gotta,
finish
like,
before that.
we're moving
So
along.
I will
Okay,
quickly
okay.
talk about a
Wait,
couple of other
socks.
finished objects.
Oh yeah, Haley has
We're
one more
finishing
pair of socks.
Oh, one more
Okay.
pair of socks, yes.
More socks.
So pretty.
Socks.
what pattern is that? Is it vanilla?
It's just
That's a
vanilla.
plain vanilla sock.
Plain
yeah.
vanilla sock.
Nice.
And in this one, I tried here. Do you want to hold?
Oh, and
This
that's
one,
the
train
Mrs.
case.
Crosby train case.
Oh.
Which I
Makes
think we've
beautiful
decided we are
socks. Yeah,
going
it does.
to start carrying.
It really does.
I've
It is
never
lovely.
made socks in those. That's
They're-
really nice.
It's so nice. It feels
So
great.
lovely, and I
It was quite
remember
thin,
Beth
but it
said
was
that they
nice
wear
to-
beautifully.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense that they would because they've got the viscose in it as well as.
Yeah, that'll keep it nice.
And I don't know. Anyway, they're
So what were
so
you saying,
pretty.
Helen?
So in this one, I tried elongating the gusset because I was like, hey, now that might work.
And
So what did I do differently?
Did you decrease more stitches?
Oh, I
or-
just did a longer. So I did
you
a
did a longer heel flap.
heel flap.
yeah,
And then I have more gusset decreases, but I like how it fits a lot better because now across the top of my foot doesn't stretch when I'm wearing
Oh,
it.
right, yeah.
that's how I do mine. I do a longer heel flap because I have a high instep. But what I
Yeah.
do, I don't do the longer gusset because my high instep is right here,
Mm-hmm.
and so then it immediately goes down to
Right.
here. So what I do is I
On the front.
on the sorry, I'm pointing on the back like an idiot. On the front. So like my volume goes down, the volume of my foot goes down here. So I do a shorter gusset. So I do.
Ooh.
Did you decrease it?
So when I do mine, I do the same thing, longer heel flap,
Yes.
and then I decrease 3 out of 4 rows. So a plain row, a decrease row, a decrease row, a plain row. Is that right?
3
Anyway,
decrease rows.
I do 3 decrease rows. Wait,
And then-
so I
Two
do a
decreases
plain
for every
row.
three.
Mhm.
Decrease, decrease, plain. Decrease, decrease, plain.
So
2
2
out of 3.
3.
There we go. But like, this is the beauty of hand-knit socks, right? Because
That's the beauty
You
of
can
hand
make
everything.
them, yeah.
you figure
And it's
out what
just
fits your
little
foot.
tweaks. And so on this one, I changed when I wear it, you can see that there's a tiny ladder, which is fine because I made them. Like it's fine. But on the ones I'm working on now, you can see, which is my whip. You can see. So for this one, let me back up. It makes sense. I'm thinking in my head. You can't see that. So I did the whole leg on the 9-inch again, and this time I
Mhm.
did the Licca 9-inch,
Mhm.
and then when I started doing the heel flap, I switched to
Magic loop?
Magic Loop, and then I did the gusset with Magic Loop, and from then on. But then for the ones I'm doing now, which you'll see later, I did the whole thing on until the gusset decreases on the 9-inch, which I like better because it makes it a lot smoother around the gusset decreases, and it just melds right in. So
and I didn't say, but Magic Loop, start to finish. Captain of Tea Magic Loop.
DPNs. DPN.
When I do them 2 at a time, Magic Loop. When I do them 1 at a time, DPNs. I'm in the middle.
Literally and figuratively.
they have little sheepies on them.
Yes. So
Cutie.
they're fun. I don't. They're not my favorite, so I'm not going to recommend where we got them from. But they have some issues.
All right.
They're
Sizing.
not. They're too. See how even though they're the right length, they're not. They're not even 8 inches, 4 inches wide
they're
flat.
Not snug.
They're not. Yeah. So.
And you want them a little snug.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. If you guys have sock blockers that you love, let us know which ones they are, because we're always on the lookout for things that we love that we can carry.
Exactly.
And that
I did.
That we can carry.
I did ask this vendor if they were working. One thing I do love about these is the hooks, because when I
the
wash,
hooks are great.
the fact that I can hang them on something and let them dry that way. Love.
Yeah, that's a thoughtful style.
It is, definitely. But the person who I got them from said that they had done wholesale before with some stores, but that they kind of had a hard enough time keeping up with their business as it was, so they weren't wholesaling. So
that's a
so
different thing.
I'm happy for them, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we would love to find someone who has the capacity to do more and who will work with us to do a design that we would like to carry.
Yeah,
so
that would be fun.
if you, as Jen said, if you know of anyone,
Let us
comment below.
Or let us know what some of your favorite tools are, because who doesn't love tools? I love
They
tools.
could become our favorites.
They could become
and then
our
they could
favorite
be
tools.
So I'm going to be the bad guy and say, let's look
We
at our
need to
watch.
wait. Okay. Oh my gosh, you still have finished objects.
I still have finished objects
Okay,
because
we'll go,
it has
we'll
been
go.
a month since we talked to you
know.
live.
I have whips.
So
What we got? I don't have any whips.
Bébé Chocolat. So cute. So cute, if I do say so
Bébé.
myself.
It is
What yarn
adorable.
is that?
This is LRA DK Superwash, and
Cute.
the reason I made this is as a store sample of this yarn. I really do like it.
Look at the little
Yeah, I
don't
made
know.
Teddy some pants out of those. I love it.
I don't know what was going on in my life when I was making it, but I did row out a little bit. I noticed, I think I'm so used to knitting in the round that just knitting flat at all. But whatever.
It looks fine.
It's handmade. It's handmade. It's it does not bother me.
It's a baby sweater.
It's
I
a
love
baby sweater.
Bee.
Haley made the bee.
Bee is
The
so
bee
cute.
was leftover yarn from
The mochi kit.
Yeah, we had mochi bees, which Haley crocheted instead of knitting it, and we had some left.
Super
So-
cute.
I did a flat one.
The pattern had a sailboat or something, or it had a couple of options, but it was duplicate stitch. But I just love the idea of a dimensional,
Yeah,
I love
that's
the bee.
really cute.
So
It's like a little
and
baby sweater.
little black buttons from our button area.
Cute.
So super
Bébé
fun.
Chocolat by.
Bye.
I'll put it down below.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so once again, come in, see it in person.
Yeah.
Touch it in
If you
person.
can. Yeah.
That's always a good thing. What else you got?
And so one thing I've been doing, and I kind of alluded to it before, I usually have 20 whips in Ravelry. I always have so many things going, but Saysha and I have been joking lately about how, partly I'm finishing things, and one thing I do is I move things from whip status to hibernating, and then from hibernating to frogged. I have a hard time frogging a whip.
Yeah.
They have to
You've
step
got
down.
to go through
They have to go through the
the
stages.
process.
They do. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the main way that I got to only 5 whips. I mean, one thing is that I finish things, but so yeah, I finished the socks, I finished this, and then this was a second cowl that I made from the Kanzashi. I made a
Cute.
store sample,
Yeah.
and then one of my friends came in to buy masks, and she's like, "Oh, I love that cowl." I'm like, "Oh, good. Now I know what I'll do with the second one." So I finished it, and it's Haley's
It's
boyfriend's mom,
Such a cute.
and yeah, so I'm
Super
gonna
easy.
lock it and give it to Beth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Easy
so
to
she'll
wear.
have
Birthday present.
Yeah.
something fun. Oh, true. Or just for the fall, whatever. Yeah.
Can I show
Her
And
you?
birthday's
especially
coming up. Not too long.
2 things. I like this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It is. I wanted to make this since we got the yarn. I was
So,
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm still
I love
feeding
it.
Teddy.
So nubbly.
And a lot of I wear this top every day, which is a lot of boobage, right? And this, if you've got a low cut top, that just
it's
covers
just a
it
little
right up.
something. Just
Yeah,
a little.
and
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but if I'm wearing a more scoop neck, my chest
get
gets
cold.
cold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this keeps it warm. Oh, that's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
useful. I haven't put this on yet.
Especially in like
It looks
over.
good. It's very nice. I like
it
it.
adds like the rainbow.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's also a good
I
thing
like
for
it.
summer because honestly, it's like how many times do you go into something that's over air conditioned and you need just a little something or other
It
so you
just-
don't
yeah, it
freeze your
keeps
little
the air off.
Yeah.
freeze your chest off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that one I did a
sometimes
tin
the
can knits pattern.
girls
Oh
are too
shoot!
much.
What was the tin can knits? Is it on the tag? Is there? There should be a tag on
There's
there.
a tag. It's by my hair. I was trying to be
Let's see.
simple yet effective.
That's right. It was simply and
because
effective.
it's so effective.
It is.
Gotta love that tin can knits, man.
So this
I love
is
it.
kind of a minor variation on it. Instead of doing like 3 rows of reverse stockinette every now and then, I did a single row of it, and just to break it up and just to make it a little bit different. So same kind of basic formula, and I had a little less than half the ball. That was a little more than half. So
I love it.
so that is that.
Spare
So
everybody my
very excited. 4 whips.
All right, that's pretty good.
4 whips, 4 foes.
4
I have
foes.
4 foes.
Finished objects.
So
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're going to
Now we're
whips.
going to
Now we're
whips.
doing
All
whips.
right.
I got nothing.
All right.
I mean, I got this, and I keep. If you see
It's
me
in all the
lifting
categories.
my hand, I am just adjusting the
Excuse me.
circs so I don't lose any stitches.
I know.
Or stabbing myself in the eye. I know. Haley was going to get me them, and then I was like, man, this will be fine. It's fine.
God, we're using one of our new bags.
Yeah, show the bags.
Go knit bags.
Go knit bags.
Oh, those
Super
are so
cute.
nice.
This was the blue one, the blue medium one. You get
Excuse me.
was
Oh my
the
goodness, I'm so
first-
flummy today.
project bag I ever had.
Is that a medium?
From Sticks and
From
Stitches.
Sticks and
This is the
Stitches
baby.
back in the
This
day.
is the tiny one, but
This is the
blue
little
medium,
one.
When I opened the box, I was like, "What did we get in?" And I saw them. I was like,
It took her back to
"Oh
like
my!"
3rd
Like,
grade or something.
Yeah, I was like,
So
"Wow."
cute.
So I still have it. It's
So
at
cute.
home. It has socks that I need to frog, but
Also simple yet effective.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Cute little
definitely.
ripstop nylon
And we have
drawstring
got
bags.
so many of these now. We
so
got
this
a
is
nice
the
variety.
perfect. I have a sock. I need to throw it in my bag.
Mhm.
Project bag.
Or, I'm going to just steal this for a
Put it on
second.
my. I know. I
There's
could've
a
used
little
it during
snap.
Warlock when I was knitting my socks.
There's
Yeah.
a snap that you can either put around your
Belt
wrist
loop.
or your
Wrist.
belt
Your
loop,
belt loop,
or
yeah.
around
Backpack
your
strap.
purse or your backpack. This
Yeah.
is like I
It's so
have.
clever. Yeah.
These are my travel knitting bags because I can attach it
Mhm.
to my carry-on without having to fit it inside my carry-on.
And they weigh nothing, which is
I
another
know,
thing that
yeah.
makes them
And
great
you're
for
like,
travel.
see?
But they're strong.
It's still part of my carry-on.
They're
It's
not
on
an extra
my
bag.
carry-on. It's not extra. You can't count that, Delta.
So my whips are over there.
Ooh.
More socks. More socks.
So you know how I said
Haley's aspiring to be the crazy sock lady junior.
part 2. So I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I was like, when we started socks, I was like, I don't want to set my goal too low, too high to like overwhelm myself or like whatever. So I was like, I'll try to get 6 pairs in the year in 2021, inspired by the people who do a pair a month, 12 socks, 12 pairs. I'm on my 5th pair, so
Wow.
I'm on
You're on
schedule
track
for 12.
for one
And
month.
it's May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So-
And it's just May. It's
yeah,
only-
and I have one
it's
already.
Star Wars
so.
Day. That
It
my whole
is.
family was
May the
texting
4th.
earlier.
Happy belated May the 4th.
Yes,
Right,
when you
yes.
see.
Day we're taping
Hope
is,
you
is
enjoyed
Star
your
Wars Day.
And for those
So-
of you who don't know what that is, may the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the gradients, the rainbow
Yes.
gradient of
Oh,
stitch
very
marker.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I missed that.
For the counting the rows,
I
I
really
have
is
to.
lost on Jen.
No spectrum
Mm-hmm.
is
Very
lost
nice.
on me.
So here's sock number 1 for Will. He picked out his yarn, and I was like, "You're really gonna go with the gray?" But
Yes, of course.
if
Boy.
you think about the name, it's leopard, so it's like okay, it's like it has the like light shine
Yeah,
like,
that's
of
really
color
pretty.
of the leopard. So this is Mantosh. So it is. It's not. I'm not like, it's a nice color, but
It's
I'm like,
not a solid.
I'm like,
black
I
line.
obviously like the stripes and the bright colors. So I was like, but
It's beautiful.
It's really nice.
I like
They'll be
that a
very
lot.
nice.
So I
And
did
they
have to do
feel
72,
amazing.
and they fit him perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's great.
Yeah.
I was like, is it gonna be too big? Is it?
It'll wear
And
really
then-
well.
So yeah, I'm
It really
very
will.
excited
I
because
have
like
I have Tosh socks that were in heavy rotation because it was my 3rd sock,
yes,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it still looks really good.
Great.
awesome.
Very
Yes.
nice.
They're gorgeous.
So
And I
yeah, so
like-
one is done.
for my
and
So
you're
one is
well-
done.
One's done,
well
And
into
I'm
the
on
second
the
one.
heel turn. We started watching Taylor Swift's Reputation Tour
Ah!
Netflix show last night. So Taylor got me through the heel flap last night. Because Because
So
the
nice.
split stitch, especially on this, I think since this is just
Yeah,
beaky,
sure.
it is a little bit tighter. And it's just kind of getting my wrists and elbows definitely a little.
Nice.
So I need to get a lacrosse ball and like
Beautiful.
roll my arm calves out. What are these called? Forearms?
Arm
Yes.
calves. No, but arm calves is the most like. I totally know exactly. I'm like, yes,
Again.
you do need to do
Okay,
your arm
roll
calves.
for me.
Most of my time is with the 3-year-old.
These are your arm calves. Also forearms. Yes,
Arm calves.
but these look great.
Yeah.
Very nice. They're beautiful.
Very nice.
They're so.
That's a good color for socks.
It really
Yeah.
is.
He can wear them anytime.
Yeah,
He
That would
really
be a
can,
nice
like
cabled sock. Or,
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's
Show
light
your
enough gray
stitch
that you
pattern.
could
You could do something.
Yeah.
to
see
still
it. You could see
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I like solid color socks. We were just talking about getting some solid color
Yes.
sock yarn in.
Yes.
It really does show up. If you like doing
Yeah.
cables or
Exactly.
like I like doing
Yeah.
the lace socks, it helps to have solid colors.
Yeah.
Uh,
What else we got?
my stuff's over there. Would you mind sliding the bag over?
So we'll do
More stuff. More whips.
More whips. This is for later.
Mhm.
Sorry. So another sock, one just in the sock, since we're like about so many socks.
we really are. We
this
meant
is
it
the
when
sock-
we said
I
we
was
went
like, I'm
crazy
the-
sock lady.
I'm the exception
You're gonna get
again.
We meant
And
it.
I'm
Oh,
just,
I
I'm like, I'm the accessory to the
Yeah,
sock
you're
obsession.
feeding off of it.
Yeah, I really am. Oh, you know what? My pattern's in there.
Like you asked me to wind this, and I was like, "Oh, this is for like a sweater or something." She was like, "No, I'm starting new socks."
Well, I do now feel like I have to have socks as a good on-the-go project because
Those are good on the
They are great.
they
on the
really
project.
are good. Could you? I'm sorry, my pattern's
I was
in there,
actually
and I
looking
should
for
know
the
what
socks
it
that I
is.
started
There
for
we go.
Ollie
I
like
like-
this winter, and I don't
Oh,
know where
yeah.
I put them. They're somewhere.
Oh,
in the house.
No,
No, I'll find them.
because you did that first pair so quickly.
I did that first pair so quickly. Well, I mean that was also like DK weight for him.
Mm-hmm.
This one was actual sock weight, and I don't know where they are.
Well, I don't know where
They'll
the rest
show
of
up.
the yarn
You
for
haven't
this
been
is.
anywhere,
Which,
so they're somewhere in the.
And honestly,
I hope.
he keeps growing, so
Yeah.
it's fine because I will need to do them longer.
What color is that? Oh, I know what that is.
this
That's
so
Babes.
this is
Or combat.
baby doll dresses and combat
Yes.
foods. This
Yeah.
is spun right round classic
picture of
sock.
The one we just
I took a
had.
picture of that.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
These are called the Tidy Socks by
Ooh.
DUCATHI, who is, I think her full name is on here somewhere. It's like Catherine do something.
They're really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. But this was the thing I was saying before about tutorials and like finding different things. So there is, I love the pattern. There's not a great picture of the stitch that is the main aspect of it.
See it next time.
Yeah, when it's done. But there's an explanation of it in writing, and then there's a photo tutorial, but those two things do not correspond.
Oh no!
So I took and I did start to write to her last night and say, do you happen to have a little video? Because I am definitely one of those people who learns well from videos.
Yeah.
It's like one thing to hear somebody talk about it or to read their description, to actually see somebody's hands,
Yeah.
because it is interesting. People do have different ways of kind of saying the same thing. So
Yeah,
I
totally.
think I'm getting this right, but I'm not really sure. And some of
Maybe.
definitely with the projects on Ravelry, some people got it fine and some people did not get it at all.
And that's
So-
also, I mean, yeah, that's.
See, I think these are okay. I think those do look like
that looks okay.
it's like a little. It's, so
It's hard
cute.
to
It's
tell
like
because
a little,
it's like a little like
well, it's,
petal almost.
She's calling it like
tulip.
a 3/3. So basically, you get 3 stitches sort of down into 1, and then you go back out to 3 again.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some of them that do not look perfect. But I think I'm
Well,
going to keep going.
As you progress, we
Yeah,
will
they will
keep you
get better.
posted.
Yeah. And the twisted
They will
rib
get
looks
better.
so nice.
I love the
tuned.
twisted rib.
I do love twisted rib on
Yeah.
this sock. It looks really pretty.
Next time
Yeah.
we'll see what
And
the
this
stitch
actually even
pattern
called for it. It's funny. I wasn't sure which pattern I was going to make when I started. I just cast on my 64 and I did twisted rib. I had gotten about 10 rounds in, and then I'm like, you know what? I am going to do this one. I think it would look pretty with this yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know
that's
this.
so
It's
pretty.
such a pretty yarn.
It's so fun. Well,
So we've got
all
a
that
whole
we've
bunch
got-
of
we
spun right round in.
If you see
yeah.
15
the
colors of plastic
Instagram
sock.
time lapse of the unboxing,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it was
so much
that.
fun.
Make
And
sure
actually-
you follow us on Instagram and Facebook because a lot of times, like even before the newsletter comes out, you'll
Yeah.
see like Haley unboxing things.
Yes.
Yep. And
Yep.
actually, that is one thing. I'm going to make a note to do an Instagram post about our new spun right round sock because there's so many fun
so
colors.
gorgeous, like
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
And they go well together too, which you will see. That's a little foreshadowing for a project we have.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So what else you got?
So my other active whip, and I feel like who is this person that I only have a couple of active whips, is...
That's a big one.
This is a big
This is a big one. This is the Whispering Willow Shawl, which is designed by Saysha Green, our
Saysha Green.
Saysha, who is one of our favorite people at Yarnia.
Oh my gosh.
She works with me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm doing it in DK. It's written as a fingering weight shawl, but I had started making the cowl version and wasn't even this far into it. And I said, you know what? I'm just not going to wear this. I'm not.
Right.
I'm definitely way more of a shawl person than a cowl person. It's like, you know what you reach for.
A shawl person.
I wear shawls.
Shawl.
I probably have 20 shawls that I wear regularly. It's like, I definitely, and how many cowls do I have that I wear regularly? I don't know. Probably one, none.
I don't think I have seen you in a cowl.
Yeah.
I
probably have some in my hall closet is where we keep
I
our
don't have any.
accessories.
I've made one.
Mm-hmm.
I totally wear them.
Yeah, I really don't.
shocked.
Which is why I was really happy. Like after I started making that one, I'm making it, but am I going to wear this?
I know.
Yeah, am I going to wear it? So I'm like, now I have somebody who wants it. Yay! So I am loving
beautiful.
this. This is so fun.
And flip it around so they can see the other side too.
Oh, that's so nice. Look at that.
So this is also spun right round. The teal is Swish DK in Big Teal Wave.
I love that
and
color.
the light color is Tosh DK in Smokestack Optic.
Nice.
So pretty.
Good
So
combo.
talking about things that are lost in our house, I know when I started this project, I had 4 because I thought I probably need a little bit more than, one of each for the cowl.
Yeah.
I know I had 4. I remember seeing them in my house. I cannot find them.
Oh my God.
Maybe they're with Ollie socks.
They're probably with Ollie socks. Yeah.
They're having a party.
They're having a hangout.
So they will be found eventually, but I am down to not that much, compared to what I started with, not that much yarn.
Brioche uses a lot of yarn.
Yeah,
it does.
It really does.
So
Like Harvey loves to play. We're going on a bear hunt during the snack time.
You need to bring them over to the house and be like, we're going on a yarn hunt,
yeah,
kid.
really.
Let's go.
Well,
Your
sadly,
reward is your snack.
he cannot come into our house because of our dog, because he's super allergic to dogs. So, but maybe we'll pretend that he's there. We will
pretend.
Look for my yarn because I'm starting to get stressed out. I know, just like any one of those things that starts with a tiny little triangle. Like in the beginning, it's like, oh, this isn't using any yarn, and now I'm like every row they're like visibly shrinking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, it's really fun. I am up to branch 4.
Nice.
And Saysha does an amazing job with her pattern writing. I said to her the other day, well, it was funny. I had started this at home, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like so off my brioche game. I haven't done brioche in so long. I'm like, I feel like I'm making a mess of this. So I came in and I had her help me start. and then I, have been working on it on my own since then. But
nice.
So fun. And I love the kind of the chart format that she does is so handy. And literally she gives you spots to check off, what you've done and everything.
Awesome.
Brioche, especially because of the long abbreviations, it can get all of a sudden you're like in a letter jumble. It just swirls and you're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
So like it's good to have Saysha thinking it through for you.
Yeah.
Well, the first part too is just like my edges didn't look quite right and everything, and I'm like, it's silly for me to do a whole lot now when I'm going to see her tomorrow. So, and the other thing, I started branch 2 using the chart. She actually does a chart version as well as the written version, and I did, but I decided that it's funny because usually I love charts. Charts are like, I will chart things that are only written, but not for brioche.
Fair enough.
So it's a bridge too far.
You gotta know your skills.
Yep, exactly.
Know where you're comfortable.
So that is it for whips that I brought.
I don't have any whips, but I do have 2 things that are going to be on the needles as soon as I'm done with this. One of them is going to be my Avalanche, which I have the yarn for, and I mentioned the yarn for like, I don't know, 2 months ago.
What color?
I'm going to use the Cascade Eco Plus in dark green.
The Shire.
Shire.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be cast on by the next podcast.
Yay.
And then the other thing I'm going to do is Haley, can you grab the ranunculus? I'm going to do a ranunculus, and Saysha is going to be teaching a ranunculus class.
Yeah,
she is.
So this is Vivian's.
It's
stunning.
So pretty.
Stunning.
And she did this in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
she did this in no
quickly.
time.
This
I'll
is
take a picture of this.
lace and mohair held together.
It's really gorgeous.
Mine is not going to be lace and mohair held together. Mine is going to be Juniper Moon Zoe, which is what I believe Saysha is going to be doing her class in.
That's what the...
Oh yeah, Zoe is
We
what...
can't pull that down.
Zoe is what is in the window with Haley's crocheted shell. So I have 3.5 balls of yarn, and theoretically that's the case for ranunculus.
Nice.
I've held off on the ranunculus for a while because I'm very leery of one size fits all patterns, but there are modifications for larger busts, which I'm like, that's basically now that you've delved into the world of sizing.
Yes.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. But yeah.
Nice.
But
So-
check out Ranunculus, Stacia's Ranunculus.
Yeah.
I'll link that
Definitely.
below, and it starts relatively soon.
Yeah,
It does
and
like
a
the
week
17th or 18th or something.
and it's an evening class.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a few new classes coming up.
This is my whip to be, which I won't talk about that much, but it's Juniper, Moon, Nev,
Nev.
and color 2 and color 23. You will
Bashful and Posy?
You will see.
Oh my God.
Something
Blush
like
and
that.
Bashful.
Or Bashful and Sweetheart, maybe?
Valentine?
Sorry,
This is Bashful.
That's
I'm going
Bashful.
straight for the
That
Steel
one-
Magnolias reference and not actual yarn.
yeah.
Just took pictures of some of those too. Put
So,
color names in.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
More whips.
Awesome.
Whip.
Okay. Yeah, I have whips. I have whips.
And
Okay.
there's a UPS truck outside, and it could be for us.
Ooh,
It's possible. They
exciting.
just randomly always bring us things on Tuesday when we're closed.
Figures.
Not randomly because I order it. So,
Amanda orders on a Sunday. Coming on Tuesday.
Yeah. So Teddy Bear, Teddy is 5 months old now.
Wow.
I
Oh my
know.
goodness. That's
Peanut.
amazing.
And he has outgrown his newborn, like when he was born, sweater. And I have sweaters that I knit for Charlie, but they're like 9 months-ish size. So he like
They're too
drowns
big.
in them. Yeah. So I thought Teddy needed a new sweater.
Yeah.
So he's getting a new sweater. Yay. I'm making, this is Charlie's Day Set by Alana Vegana.
Aww.
So, yeah, and I'm using the Cashmerino Sport Speckles, which
It's so
I love. Yeah, I'll take a picture of this too. I think it looks so nice, and then I'm trimming it with Cashmerino Sport, in like, I think it's called Abyss. There's like this dark blue.
It's a nice navy.
And I was worried that they would compete and you wouldn't be able to see the stripes, but it
No, no,
doesn't.
you
It
definitely
Now
looks-
it's beautiful.
It's really nice.
It's
Yeah.
really, really
Sweet.
nice.
So Alana Vegana, she had Anna Dervot or Dervot, something like that, has 2 kids' day sets. Charlie's day set has a sweater with pants with a little drawstring and a bonnet. Pia's day set has a sweater that has lice. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
fleece.
the little
fleece, yeah.
Yeah.
pattern.
Which I did think that the navy would get lost as a flea. But it has little bloomer shorts. So I'm going to do the sweater from Charlie's set and the bloomers from Pia's set. And it's going to be a set for Teddy.
Nice.
Cute.
But yeah, so I finished the body in like a day and a half. And now I'm working on the sleeve.
Gotta love kids' sweaters.
Yeah, it's
I
really
know,
good. It's
right?
super fast. And it's sport knit on a 6, so it just sort of like zooms along.
Yeah.
And it's a 6-row stripe repeat, so it's like
Super cute.
you just want to keep doing a next stripe, doing
Yeah,
next stripe,
for sure.
next stripe.
Definitely.
So next time this will be finished for sure, and I'll probably have a picture of Teddy in this. Yay!
Are you going to do
I
the
really
bonnet
like-
as well? Are you thinking about doing the bonnet as well?
I probably won't do the bonnet because it's summertime.
Yeah. Woolly wear.
Yeah, and I have a navy bonnet that he's been wearing in the moon,
14?
14, yes,
Oh, yeah.
in 14 that I made for Charlie. So yeah, we have a navy bonnet.
So there you go.
I'm a bonnet person. I put my kids in bonnets because they don't fall off.
My kids
That is
never wore the hats or the bonnets that I made them, and they just
My kids don't have a choice.
I love bonnets.
I cut
They're
them
so
on,
cute.
and they can't take them off.
yeah. You're gonna Stay warm, kid.
Yeah.
I do love that speckled sport. It's such a nice.
It looks
So yeah, this is it's one of those yarns, and we have a few of them. I know we've said before, ask your yarn store owner what looks nice, because what's in the skein.
Sometimes it does not show
It's
itself
hard to
off very
translate
well.
sometimes.
Yeah.
We got this sample.
Gorgeous.
For the, oh my goodness, I have to get up and show you because it's incredible. Ah,
Got it?
yeah. Look at, oop, blowing out. There. This sample, which I love. I'm going to block you.
Yes.
Totally.
There you go. Yay! And this is this is an adult sweater in the cashmere no sport speckled.
So wearable.
Yes. Isn't
How cute would that look with like jeans and just like a little tank top
I
or a
know.
t-shirt underneath?
It's so adorable. I love this.
And it's machine washable.
it is machine washable. And it has cashmere.
And
like,
that's cashmere.
check.
So
What
nice.
more can you get?
And
Yeah.
sometimes you think like, oh, that's only for babies or only for kids. But you're like, no, you see the sample and you're like, oh my gosh,
It's
totally I could do
I
that.
could make that.
it's for somebody
You're
who
like,
doesn't like
Hmm.
texture in their life.
Yeah, who doesn't like the rustic of the pattern.
Yeah, so we have, no matter what your like is, we
Look
have
at your
something.
cute whip.
Oh, I know.
Sorry.
That's beautiful.
Distracted.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was Charlie's, Teddy's, but the name is Charlie's.
Right,
Very
right.
confusing in
That's
my house.
confusing, yeah.
This is the Miro pullover
Oh my
vest.
goodness.
So pretty.
This is
And, so
Totally chocolate chip mint,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Or mint
totally
chocolate chip,
chocolate.
whatever.
Um,
Oh my god.
Love
yeah,
it,
I
love
should
it.
put this on the 32 inch cord instead of 24.
Mhm.
Sorry, but I had a 24, so that's what it's on.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's what you do.
But this is by Sylvia Watts Cherry, and I love the way this is turning out. So this is a vest. It is written to be flat front and back, and then seamed. But she even says in the pattern like it's super easy to modify the bottom part to be in the round, so that's what I'm doing. And then I am going to divide and knit it flat after the sleeve divide,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never knit color work flat before, and I think it's a good skill to have.
Definitely.
True.
Yeah.
But I don't mind doing it from here to here,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Like
You don't have to go for the whole thing.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
rows here, and then you like start dividing and do this side and this side. So
Then you don't have to worry about,
I'm not
your skill set improving from the bottom to the
Right.
top.
And
You can be
having
like,
a
nah, it'll
visible
be fine.
difference. Yeah.
right.
And
It looks gorgeous.
I apologize. I'm communicating with our person who should be here.
Our secret
Yes.
guest coming soon. So,
And I was talking with folks on Knit Night this Wednesday. It's interesting because like when you're knitting color work, you hold the color on the right that is your background color. Right. The background color. And looking at this, what color do you think is the background color? Right. I thought it was the mint, but when I held the mint in the back, then there's a little bit of a mint detail in the chocolate here. Mint chocolate, yeah. And it sort of gets lost, and so now I switched them.
Yeah. So
I'm going to try it and see how it looks on this
Yeah.
one.
sometimes you have to switch in the middle if you're like,
throughout the course of the color work.
it starts in the background
Yeah.
and then it switches to the foreground, or your details are getting lost. Flip them.
Yeah, but I might have to flip them in the row multiple times, which I'm really not thrilled about, because see, like I like
the little stripies.
Yeah, I like the stripies better, I think, with the brown in the foreground. And then here I need the mint in the foreground.
Yeah.
So
So, I
basically,
gotta work on
it's color dominance. So your foreground color should be on your left, held in your left hand if you're doing two hands. So we're talking about color dominance here for color work. So your foreground color, if you're knitting it with one color in each hand, your foreground color should be in your left hand, because that will actually, the yarn has to travel a little bit further, so your stitches will be ever so slightly bigger.
Yeah.
And your background color is in your right hand. If you are holding both colors in the same hand, your foreground color is underneath. And your background
Bottom
color is on top.
I have to read the reminder each time, because I hold both in my left hand. And I
do.
forget.
I
Especially
do a
since I've
mix.
switched
Yeah.
twice in this project already. But
I remember because I'm a lefty,
Oh,
and I was like, left hand underneath.
But I'll take a picture of this on the side so you can see like the difference that the dominance makes.
It's a really good demonstration of it.
Yeah, you can definitely see where I switched, but I don't think it's like, I mean, you're not going to be able to be like, oh my goodness, you switched your color dominance.
No.
Horrified! No.
Well, I mean,
but it's like over here on the side.
That's like, but you want to. It's like you want to so that the thing you want to be more prominent will. So
yeah, but I think, like I said, I think I'm going to switch
on your stripe
in the middle of the round.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had an extended discussion with this on Knit Night on Wednesday before you guys got there. So anyway, and then there is a third color, the white, which I'm using some leftover Allegria. And yeah, I just I started a new strand on each half round because
you've been carrying it so long.
For this side band, and so it doesn't make sense to carry it and like weave in all the way across.
No.
Yeah. I'm also we talked about this on Wednesday as well. The first round I caught my floats. Like the way you typically do. And you sort of see that brown coming through the mint a little bit. So I was watching Roxanne Richardson, and she was talking about how in Fair Isle knitting, or in, what is it, Norwegian, Sweden, Denmark.
Nordic?
Scandinavian stranded color work. Your floats are parallel to each other, right? Like, what's on top stays on top, what's on bottom stays on bottom, never the two shall cross. And that's the way, that's the rule, that's what you're supposed to do. However, in the Baltic region, it's Baltics? That's Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. They twist their, every time they start a new color, it comes from the bottom.
That's what I do.
And they don't have to catch their floats.
Because it's twisted.
Yes.
But also,
but your
they
color
don't
dominance
have,
is weird.
they don't have,
it's different. It's just different. Yes.
the patterns
But
also
they're also-
traditionally don't have too many stitches between them.
Yeah.
So
And they're using
that's why it
multiple
works.
colors. Like they're using 3-4 colors every row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And twisting.
Yes. But so instead of doing that, I am twisting, like in the back, I'm just, instead of catching,
You're just twisting
I'm
them together.
twisting it. Yeah, so they're a little bit. And I think it works. I mean, because I don't have any long tails.
Did I pull too far?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Two.
Sorry, it was
Put them
it was
both
gonna fall
on
off
the
this
shadow.
end.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
The Chagu's got a lot of room.
Yeah.
It's fine. I know how to pick up stitches.
Really?
I know, but still,
Shocking.
once you take it off, that's gonna go on
couple
to
more.
run.
It'll be fine.
We'll hold your ends as you
This is
take it
where the
off.
daughter of a seamstress comes in handy. The number of times I've had to like disrobe without sticking myself with something like a pin, and because inevitably, as the daughter of the seamstress, my mom never sticks anybody with pins except for me, but not on purpose, but just because she's like, May,
Not quite as careful.
I'm like, can you not get blood on my wedding dress?
Don't bleed on the
She did, but she got it off. That was her own blood.
Oh my gosh.
It came off.
That sounds like a thriller movie or something like
Yeah,
that.
really.
She was more upset than I was. I was like, it'll be fine.
One of my
She's like,
biggest
"Oh."
costuming things in college, we were making, I don't know, it was like 40 ball gowns and they were all white.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. It was so crazy. And they were, it was the 80s, and they were like the slinky fabric, Kiana.
Oh.
And the I forget, I think her name was Jo Ellen, the woman who was like the head of the costume crew, was like, don't bleed on the Kiana, because it was all white and it's really hard to get blood out of synthetic fabric.
Yeah,
so if it gets
it
in,
is.
forget about it. Don't bleed on the Kiana.
This is how you learn things.
By making mistakes.
By making mistakes.
Always.
Bleeding on silk. Or Kiana. So what else we got? Any other?
Okay, so I'm really enjoying this. So
It's beautiful.
yeah, it's great.
It's really
it's going to
beautiful.
be, and it will be it'll be in the store for a little bit, because I need to lose some weight to fit in that again, which I will be able to fit into it by the fall.
It's
But not right now.
nice. It's a fall
So y'all get to
garment.
see it for a little bit.
What
Let's
do we
see.
have?
And then
I
you're
had-
going to talk about Gordon State too, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
I was just going to give you a quick update on my Pokeballs. I added these Katrinkles tags.
yeah.
So
This says
smart.
Pokeballs.
Mhm.
This one says socks.
I love it.
Yeah.
So and you just write on them in Sharpie, and you can like wipe them off with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol.
Cool.
It's turned out great because now I can tell my husband, like, can you get my Pokeballs bag?
Right.
And he can tell which one it
Other
is.
people
Rather
may.
than the green one with the flowers, and then he brings this one, and I'm like, that's Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
I asked Jonathan to
Sounds
get
like
me
our
a
house.
hair tie from upstairs, or to get me a barrette from upstairs, and he brings a hair tie down. I'm like, a hair tie is not a barrette, and he's like, I'm bald. What do I know? Fair
I know,
point.
Jeff is doing the same thing. So I finished 3 Pokeballs
Look
now.
how cute. Oh my god, they're
Two.
adorable.
Cute.
2 regular ones. I do have the dot for this one, and I have a great ball, and I have the
cute.
red stripes for this one to go on.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
So, and then this is going to be an Ultra Ball, and then, so that's Pokeball update. It will continue through the month of May. Birthdays are
What's your
May
deadline?
31st and June 16th.
Oh,
So
all right.
somewhere in
You
the
got
middle.
time.
Yes.
You got time.
But I also
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
make a Mew and a Charmander, so
Mm.
TBD. But this is the Pokemon Balls pattern by Kristine Kuluka. It's really good.
Adorable.
You'll see more of those. Next time, hopefully, Mew and or Charmander will be in progress.
And I've been dying to make some of the Animal Crossing little amigurumi. I might do that for Gene for Father's Day. That would be a cute little.
that would be so cute.
Like, he likes
loves-
Desk
yeah,
toys.
he
He does.
loves-
yeah.
He's still got the
I
link.
still-
You
there's-
should bring the link in that you made when you
I
were
remember.
little. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
next time is video game toys.
Yes.
Yes.
He really likes curling for some reason. Like
Yeah.
Gene is so into curling, so I know
That's
like
one
why.
reason he was excited when she was going to school in Canada.
He
Maybe
was like,
we'll get to
"I'm
see
the curling
curling.
team." I was like, what? He was like, they got a grant of $5,000.
sweet.
I was like,
How do you know this?
He just
So
was
I
fascinated by
found
it.
a little curling keychain, like the stone. So I think I wanted to make, that's like the only thing in my Ravelry queue from like 5 years ago.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
I do need to make that at some
That's
point.
so cute.
Because it's itty bitty, it's a keychain, so
Yeah,
that would go
yeah.
quick.
Pokeballs.
I could make him a whole team's worth of curling
Curling
stones.
Oh,
He could play curling by
Love that.
himself.
Never changed, Gene.
Never changes.
Love that. So what else do you have?
Last thing, also not cast on yet, but these are my yarns for the Garden State Shawl by Shayna Willow. She designed that shawl for New Jersey Wool Walk.
Mhm.
We had kits.
Yep.
It was fantastic. Lots of people got them. And we're hosting a knit-along. So that knit-along is going to start the Monday, a week after Mother's Day. So if you're
So like
Families-
mid-May.
so, yeah.
Mid-May.
yeah, like
Yeah,
the
'Cause it's
18th
the
or
ninth.
something like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
18th-ish.
Yeah. Mother's Day is this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday.
It's the 9th.
So hurry into the store to
Yeah.
get your kits.
Well, okay, if this comes out on Saturday morning and you suspect that you probably don't have a Mother's Day present, tell them, go to the store and get a Garden State shawl kit, right?
We'll have more. We
Send
have
them
a
with
few
the
left,
postcard.
but
Yeah,
What
Garden
it is.
State shawl.
And if Yes.
So, but it's 2 fingering weight skeins. If you've got some in your stash, that'll be awesome too.
Yeah.
Join our knit along. It's free to join. It's on our website. I'll put the link below. And I'm going to host 3 knit along Zoom sessions. One to cast on, one to do like the lace because there's some lace panels, and one to do the crochet flowers at the end because there's like little crochet flowers. At
It
the
is.
end.
yeah.
such a sweet shawl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Do we want to grab one of the kids to show a picture right now, or do you want to just throw
We'll
a picture
throw-
in?
I'll put a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry, guys. Your faces are obscured right now because we put a picture of the Garden State shawl.
Yay!
Yay! But during Wool Walk, I was doing my own shopping, and I got these 2 skeins of Tosh. They're one of a kinds because we had a big shipment of Tosh one of a kinds, which are like when they're playing with colors, trying out new colorways. The dye lot isn't exactly because they're super picky about their colorways and how they're supposed to look. Like, and if a dye lot turns out slightly off one way or the other, then
It
it's
goes
a
in
one
the
of a kind.
one-of-a-kind bucket. Yeah.
And they look gorgeous.
I mean, they're
Right.
all so stunning.
Oh yeah. So I'm
This is
super
a perfect
happy.
use for that.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
So yeah, all you need is 2 skeins of fingering.
2 skeins
So-
of fingering.
This is a great way to use up your onesie-twosies.
Or like bring in one that you have at home. And
that's
bring in one.
Yeah, especially because if you've got a good variegated, this is a good shawl for variegated yarn, which I'm excited about. You need those like areas of not lace or cables or some stitch pattern.
You need visual interest.
Yeah, so that's good for this. And then you do sort of in the lace section, you probably want a solid color.
Yeah.
So if you've got a nice variegated skein,
semi-solid.
then you want a skein to show off the lace. Bring your skein in, get a matchy or coordinating.
Coordinating.
Yeah, solid, and you're off.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
that's great. What else do we have? Do we have any?
We
We have some stuff that's new in store, but we did want to mention one thing that the knitting podcasting community. Amanda, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, as you know, I'm like, I watch knitting podcast all the time. I know Haley does too. One of the ones that has been super influential for me and like challenged and inspired me throughout like my knitting journey over the past several years is Fruity Knitting, hosted by Andrea and Andrew. Their podcast is excellent, I think, and also they're just lovely people who have contributed so much and given so much of themselves to the knitting community over the last several years. For those of you that might follow Fruity Knitting, Andrew was diagnosed with brain cancer last fall, and Andrea did everything she possibly could. They worked together and did everything they possibly could to improve his quality of life and extend his lifespan as much as they could, but he lost his battle with cancer like a couple weeks ago, and Andrea posted about it on Instagram. So the knitting world definitely lost a great soul.
Yeah.
But, that was their only income. I know I've supported Fruity Knitting for years as a Patreon. And they do have, if you're interested in supporting Andrea during this time, they do have a PayPal link that they have a PayPal link to help out with expenses. So I'm going to link that down below if that's interesting to you. And if you haven't watched Fruity Knitting, it's definitely it's such a treasure trove.
It really is.
Just like such valuable knitting inspiration. And if you go back to like episode 1, that's when Andrew first started knitting.
Wow.
And you can watch him progress, like literally from knitting very basic stockinette hats and struggling with it through like brioche and lace and knitting sweaters for his wife. It's just like the best love story ever. So sorry I made you guys
I love that, but I also love that their relationship and their journey has been documented.
Yes.
Because that is something that, we always say, may his memory be a blessing, but the fact that you can go back and see his memory, and it's just so.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Sorry. So we probably should leave it there. I don't feel right talking about New in Store after that. So anyway, so
we do have a lot of new things in store. We will post about them on Instagram.
We will.
And
now that the store is cleaned up from Wool Walk, which did take a week. I mean, it was good to take the time to do it, and actually we've got a lot of new spring stuff out and everything. But I will get back to more regular posting now that the big push of I
have a nanny now.
Yes. Yeah.
So I can get back to taking photos. All
right. And soon you'll hear about why we're trying to wrap up earlier too. Soon. So we'll and maybe we'll put a snippet in. We'll see, but it'll be on her channel.
Yeah. Oh, and there is a new store in our old Yarnia store.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And they're having an event. Yeah. Beads and seeds.
Mind your beads and seeds.
I will talk about them more. I promise. I will feature them more on this podcast.
Yeah, they're great.
It's excellent, but
and it's so I've been into the store too. It's so nice to see the space that we initially worked on.
Sprouted
and it's now, but I love it in that it's now been transformed. And I was talking with Mia, and she was like, "Oh, we love the way you guys left it. You inspired us." But what I love is that like they took it in another direction.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's so it does feel good. It feels like we,
Yeah, passing it along to
Jeff
other...
is so proud that his floor is still there.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure Jean is so proud that
I
his
know,
ceiling is still
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And Mind Your Beads and Seeds is a plant store.
Yes.
among
Yes,
other
it's they
Plants
call it a
and
gift
gifts.
garden.
Plants
and
This is a
gifts.
gift garden.
They
So
have
you'll hear more about that.
You will have more. We might do something together.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
we'd
they
like
have
to
an
do a
event
collaboration.
on May 22nd that I will also post a link to
Yes.
like paint
So
your
check
own
it out.
pot and get your
Yes, yeah.
So-
Follow their Instagram. We'll link their Instagram below too.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely
yes,
check it out.
definitely.
So sweet.
They're lovely.
All right.
Really
We're
lovely.
wrapping up.
And on
Okay.
that note, thank you all for
Goodbye.
watching.
Thank you
I'd
all.
love to hear your
Thank
comments.
you.
Please do comment and
Don't forget
thanks
to
for watching.
like and subscribe so you get all kinds of fun videos from us, including tutorials and special guest stars. And then also follow us on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook. We're Shop Yarnia. On Facebook, we're Yarnia LLC. And subscribe to our newsletter at shopyarnia.com.
All right.
We'll see you soon. Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye.